Hi, my name's Elizabeth. I'm from Auckland in New Zealand, and I'm making a video to talk about Dr Richard Aron and the Aron regimen. I'm 40 years old. I've had eczema since I was a baby. My parents tried the usual topical steroid creams prescribed by doctors. Generally what happens with topical steroid creams is you get prescribed a low strength one, and you're prescribed it for a certain number of days, and then at the end of that period of days you're supposed to stop or lessen the number of applications, and the theory is that the eczema will be better. What usually happens is the eczema is not better. It kind of gets worse when you stop the steroid creams, and then you get prescribed a stronger steroid cream, and then that works for a while, and then you stop, and then the eczema comes back worse than before, spreading, and then you get prescribed a stronger one, and it kind of keeps going like that. And generally eczema, if you're unlucky, will get worse and worse until some people have ended up on immunosuppressant medications. Luckily I didn't have to. So my parents, when I was younger, tried a few different natural remedies other than topical steroids because they didn't seem to be working, such as Chinese medicine, Tibetan medicine, naturopaths. We gave these a decent go as well, probably the best part of a year for each of those. And dietary changes, cutting out a whole lot of foods, and generally it didn't really help much. Recently I tried a whole lot of things to try and get rid of my eczema naturally without topical steroids. I stopped all steroid creams, which I do not recommend because it just went wildfire. It went from just being on my hands mainly to all up my arms, all on my chest, down my legs, on my bum. That's everywhere. Luckily I didn't have it on my face. I was really lucky. And it was red and raw, bright red basically. I'd scratch it, it would leave big kind of, even light scratches, I'd leave big marks in my skin. You could see where my fingernails had been. They were kind of raised white lines where I'd scratched, and it was impossible not to scratch. Like, I tried as hard as I could, there was nothing, I could not stop scratching. It was like this incessant itch, and it was maddening. And so I did try not scratching, yeah, and that didn't work. So after I'd scratched, the parts where I'd scratched would then swell kind of in this like light coloured raised lines. Then that would weep fluid, and it was just really gross. It was disgusting. I would end up patting it dry with paper towels, putting paper towels on there to try and stop it from leaking anymore. Then they'd get all stuck to it, and it was just horrible. So yeah, I do not recommend stopping steroid creams. It was awful. While I was stopping steroid creams, so that was probably the best part of a year, I'd say about 10 months in 2015. I tried a whole lot of other natural treatments again, saw 2 different naturopaths, took a whole lot of medications that they, like herbal kind of things that they recommended. I saw an iridologist, a homeopath. The homeopath is kind of like a cross between a homeopath and I'm not really sure what you call it. It's I've forgotten the name of it now. He uses a system where he puts kind of like a resistance kind of electric thing, doesn't hurt, not electric shocks, on your fingers and different points of your fingers, and also on your toes, and then he puts something into the circuit of the resistance thing. I told you I wasn't very good at explaining it. And he puts various things in the circuit to see which of those will make the high reading reduce, and then he discovered that that's what the thing is that's causing the problem, the blockage in your energy flows. So then he prescribes you something, an antidote to that particular thing. It might be a pesticide or some sort of poison from somewhere that you would have picked up in low traces in your body, and it's a kind of a homeopathic remedy. So you take those. Anyway, so I've seen this guy for probably about 6 or 7 months. I spent thousands of dollars on something. It didn't even, like, my skin just got slowly worse and worse. The eczema just spread more and more. One night I was Googling, you look up your symptoms on Dr. Google and you find out all this stuff. Anyway, I found out something about something called red skin syndrome, which is topical steroid withdrawal. And I googled the symptoms and I thought, oh my gosh, that is me exactly. Bright red sleeves was a classic symptom. I had bright red sleeves that stopped exactly at my wrists. Everything else that they described on this website called Eczema seemed to be what I had. And that was just like the worst thing ever. I was in the depths of despair, finding out about this condition that I thought I had, that there was no end to, no end in sight. Like it said some people can heal through the withdrawal period in months, some people takes years. Apparently there's people that's on there that've been doing it for like 8 years, still haven't got rid of their eczema, and oh my gosh, that was just the most depressing thing. I was in misery, I was crying. I just thought, I can't do this. I was getting married in 2 months, and I was dreading my wedding day. Like I had a beautiful dress with sleeveless dress, and I was in despair basically. I was taking painkillers and antihistamines and tranquilizer kind of tablets as well, because I was so upset and itchy and sore, and the antihistamines didn't work either. Yeah, I was just dreading the wedding day. I was so upset. I just thought, I can't do this, and I thought if I go back on the steroid creams to fix my skin, I'm going to end up having to start all over again, this topical steroid withdrawal. So yeah, it was about 3 weeks of that I was really, really upset, and my skin didn't really improve at all, and I just thought, I'm in for years of this. I'm in misery. And then one night, it was about, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, I was Googling and I found something about Dr. Richard Aron, and I had a look into it, and he uses a combination of steroid cream, antibiotic cream and moisturiser. So it's, the majority of it is like a big tub of moisturiser and small amounts of steroid cream, small amounts of antibiotic, and he prescribes it specifically for you. So you send him you do an online consultation, send him some photos, and you give him your background, what your skin's doing, how old you are, size, kind of thing, and he will prescribe that customized for you based on your condition and your history. So everybody's got a different prescription. It's not a standard one size fits all. It can't be, because like an adult like me, you couldn't have the same prescription as a baby. It'd be too strong for the baby. That's an example. And so yeah, so I thought, I read all about it. I stayed up until probably 3 or 4 in the morning. I found the Facebook page and I'd read all about it, read every single comment, every single post, everything in the pinned post at the top of the page, which has got a whole lot of useful information in it. And I knew, like, this is what I need to do. Like, even though it's steroid creams and I've been kind of brainwashed by the topical steroid withdrawal people from what I've read, that no, don't go back on the steroid creams are evil. I thought, nah, this makes sense. He's discovered that the Staphylococcus aureus bacteria, which is normally present on people's skin, without any problems. If you've got eczema, you've got an impaired skin barrier, so the staph bacteria gets under the skin, and the action of it replicating and dividing causes that itch and inflammation in the red skin. So even though you don't typically think, oh, I've got an infection, it actually, the eczema is infected, even though it doesn't kind of look like it. Traditional sense, there's no kind of pus oozing, that kind of thing. So yeah, so I got the prescription and I put it on. He prescribed it 4 times a day for the first 2 weeks, and then to get back to him after 2 weeks. I put it on the first application, and within 48 hours of that first application, I had clear skin all over my body. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. It was just like night and day. The difference, my husband said to me, like, the difference in my personality was incredible from before to after. I was so excited about life, well, I still am. It was like I can be a normal person, I can go out and do normal things, I can wear short sleeves, I can be happy, I can not worry about people looking at me, and that was just over a year ago now. So I'm down to 1 application every 2 days. My skin is still clear, yeah, it's great. Life is great. I would totally recommend it. I would not recommend topical steroid withdrawal. Do not stop all your steroid creams. Google Dr. Richard Aron, A-R-O-N. He's amazing. Hopefully we can hopefully more doctors and dermatologists will find out about him and pick up on his regime and how he regimen and how he prescribes medications, and it's pretty much life-changing for anyone with eczema. I mean, I've seen the before and after pictures of a lot of people in the Facebook group, and it's amazing. So and it's long-term management of eczema. It doesn't cure your eczema because there is no cure, but it's the best, hands down, best management regime there is. So yeah, as I said before, my skin is still clear. Like this time before I started, not last year but longer than that, my hands were weeping. I had the skin on my hands was, if you went like that, it would be massive, big, sort of thick skin folds, kind of like that, because it was all inflamed, and now it's perfect. So yeah, I totally recommend Dr. Richard Aron and the Aron regimen, and hopefully everyone who has eczema will eventually be able to use this medication and this regimen, because it just works. I forgot to add, 2015, pretty much the whole year, my husband and I were trying to conceive a baby. This was the year that I was going through topical steroid withdrawal, and we were having no luck. The very month that I started the Aron regimen, we got pregnant. So now I have a beautiful 6-month-old baby daughter. She has no signs of eczema, but if she did, I would have no hesitation in signing her up for Dr. Aron. I'm convinced that the inflammation my body was fighting was preventing me from getting pregnant, and the Aron regimen enabled my body to be healed so that conception could occur. So I would recommend Dr. Aron to anybody.